We're back. We're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome to part 2. Welcome to part 2. So what did you learn in part 1? What did you learn? Did you learn anything? So my cupcake is baking nicely in the oven. Alright, and while that is baking, we're just going to go straight to the part I love the most, decoration. Alright? Now, the cakes, like I mentioned, were baked yesterday. Just very well. In fact, by today, it's fantastic. What we did yesterday was, after we baked, we wrapped it in a cling film like so, like this, and just left it on the table. Alright, by this morning, it's all come together. The flavors are intense. It's so am I going to cut through this so you see what it actually looks like? And for those of you baking with me at home, alright, let's just get straight to it. Okay, so these are my cakes. So what I did with the recipe is that I multiplied it. So this is times 2. Alright, so I'm just gonna bring this down so you see what's on the table. Okay, so while that is there, I'm actually going to be using 2 creams. Alright, the recipe I have on the website is this, okay, which is the mixture of the cream, the buttercream, and the Crisco. So the Crisco is what makes it look so white like this, okay? And goodness, guys, this really is buttercream, but look at how very whippy it looks, like whipped cream. Okay, that recipe is just fantastic. So try it, and it tastes yum, yum, yum. All right. Now we're going to use this to decorate the cake. Alright, I can't do this live, so that's why I sent you all that you needed. I mean, it will take a while. But what I need you to note is that when you're making this, like I mentioned, just follow the instructions that I put up on the website. Alright, just follow it to the T. And what I did is I first poured in the shortening, because the shortening is, of course, a bit harder in structure than butter. Okay, so I needed that to go first and become very smooth and soft before we added the butter. And then after we added it and mixed for about 5 minutes, then we poured in the icing sugar. Poured in the icing sugar, let it go. You need to be very patient with this. In fact, there's a thin line between making this icing sugar look so lovely and it looking just so grainy and hard. Okay, I'm keeping an eye on my. Oh, it's looking so lovely. It's looking lovely. I wish I could show you what it looks like. Look at that. Can you take a sneak peek? Okay. Anyway, back to me. So like I was saying, just follow the instructions, okay? And let it whip for about, after you put everything inside, let it whip for another, 8 to 10 minutes. I guarantee you it will look this lovely, okay? And then you can store in room temperature for a couple of days. If you've used milk, you have to store it in the fridge. But if you've used water, you definitely can leave it on the counter for at least 3 to 4 days. Okay, that's why we like using this for regular party cakes. No drama. It's not a dessert, so it doesn't have to go in the fridge. But I want to show you this cream I made. Alright, I made this yesterday. It's not in the recipe, okay? But I just wanted to, because we'll be eating this in the house, I just wanted to add some more pizzazz. So it was in the fridge, so it's a bit firm, but it's actually a very fluffy custard cream. Okay, this is made with milk, flour, sugar, and butter. Just look at that. Gorgeous. It literally tastes like ice cream. I am not joking. So I prefer this inside my cake, okay, so that we can have a much more pleasurable experience eating this cake. While this is a bit chunky, okay, this is very light and airy and really, really lovely to taste, seriously. So I'm going to be filling my cakes, and you can see it's pipeable, it's quite firm. Okay, fantastic. So I put this on the side and quickly get my cakes. Before I start putting my cakes together, as you can see, I have some caramelization and I need to cut some of them up. Let me have that knife, please. The kitchen knife. So that I don't make a mess. Okay, what I'm going to do is cut off the bottom and then the sides as well. Again, I've told you what to do if you don't want too much browning on your sides. The cake is not burnt, please note. Alright, what we just have really is the caramelization. So I'm going to need my turntable. That table, yes, that turntable there. And some parchment paper. Where is the parchment paper? Yes. Alright, so I'm just going to use my turntable now. Don't worry, I'll carry you along as I go. Ooh. By this time, guys, the cupcake is ready. So I'm going to be bringing it out of the oven. Let me just have the bread knife. It's better to use a serrated knife than to use a regular knife. The bread knife. Thank you. I know some people would love to eat this part of the cake. If you are that some people, raise up your hands. But look at our cake. Beautiful, isn't it? I'm just going to turn this over. I need to be very careful. This is ready. And then I need to bring my cupcakes out of the oven too. So let me pause. And so that I don't burn my hand, let me wear my gloves. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing now on this side. Alright, Facebook will show you too what I'm doing on this side. Ooh la la! Look at that! Beautiful, 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 beautiful. OMG, look at! Gorgeous! Now, before I get too excited, I will show you something. Before I get too excited, let me put the other cake. Remember, we have another cake that has to go into the oven. Let me put that in. You need to be careful. Don't hurt yourself. Don't say Data first said I should put cake in. She's wearing her gloves though. Alright. And that's going to now bake for about 30 minutes. Okay? So, if you don't have, well, I just want to quickly show you something. This very neat trick. Alright? See, I almost touched it again with my finger. Okay, so this is what the cupcake looks like. Look at that. And this is how to test for doneness. Can you see when I put my finger on it, it bounces back. Look at that. Bounces back like a pillow. Look at that. So without even putting any stick or skewer or skewer or anything, this is how I test for doneness. Once I put my finger on it and it doesn't sink in, okay, it is perfectly cooked through. Alright? So this baked for roughly 50. That was so fast. And I'm going to put it right now on my cooling rack. Where are those cooling racks? There's the like bronze looking one. Wow, talk about multitasking. Look at that. Look at it. Very fluffy. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And it's so hot. Let me have this now. Thank you very much, Mary. My able assistant is Auntie Mary. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Look at that. Okay. Beautiful, isn't it? Lovely. So I want to take it out of the cake pan because the cake pan is still hot. And believe me, it is still cooking the cupcake as we are speaking. So we need to quickly take it out. All right. Quickly take it out and place it on a cooling rack. So what are you enjoying now? I thought I would really be anxious, but it's kind of going pretty well. Okay, let me take this out of the way. And there you go. So you can see the cake, how it is as cupcakes, and then what it looks like as a cake. Obviously, it stays much longer in the oven. That's why we have a lot of browning or caramelization, okay? And that's absolutely fine. So we can put this away just for it to cool. Okay. So now let's get back to what we were doing. So I will bring this back up. Okay. So we're back on that stage where we were trimming the cake, right? So that's layer 1. This is layer 2. Okay. Now, can you see how I'm gently sliding my hand under the cake and then turning it over? I didn't turn it over to my hands. I turned it over on wax paper or parchment paper because that's what's on top of the cake. And then, of course, I'll shave off this portion I don't want. All right? This cake is so moist, it's just, and I like it because it's not crumbly. Have you ever cut through a cake and everything doesn't stay in one place? Nah, I don't like cakes like that. Okay, I like a neat and a tight crumb. So put this on one side. That's number 3 or 2. Right. Just pour this away. Well, someone is signaling that we want to eat it, so let me put it aside. All right, you can take it off. Okay, that's so funny. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. And this is number 3. So if you had used the recipe as is on the website, you will only be able to get 2 of this, okay? That's if you divided it like I did. If you didn't divide it, you won't be able to get it like that. Alright, I usually like the layers of the cake to be even, the same. And then I'll just shave this off. Alright. Run out of parchment paper and I don't want to cut any, so I'll just use my kitchen towel. Place that down and then one last time. There you go. And then we cut off the excess again. Mary. Okay, so we are done with the shaving. Thank you very much. So I'll just wipe my hands to remove all the grease or the fat from my palm. And then I hope you're loving what you're seeing behind the scenes. Okay, so right now what I want to do is start working on the decoration. So you're going to start seeing how I build things up, all right? And I'm sure you would learn one or two things. So let me just focus. Now I'm going to use my spatula. That's that big bowl that has all the glass big bowl. Okay, it's right here. And then I'm also keeping an eye on the cake in the oven. So I was talking about my buttercream, but before I go into the creaming of that, now I'm going to start building up my layers. So I'm taking from the exact recipe I gave you. That's what I'm putting on my cake board. So you always have to use a cake board for buttercream cakes at least 2 inches bigger than your cake. So we've made an 8-inch cake, so the board is 10 inches, all right? And onto that, I'm going to place the very first layer. There's something called a cake lifter, but I don't have that yet in the bakery. I'm trying to be as DIY as possible. But I mean, there's something called a cake lifter that can actually lift up your cake, okay? And then inside my cake, I'm going to put the cream that I made earlier on. This is not butter icing. This is like a cream paste. So we make this out of flour, milk, sugar and butter. Okay. This is how I like it. Good. So next is the second layer. Did you notice that I'm not cutting off the top? If you don't like the top, please by all means cut it, but I particularly like it. If you didn't like it, this is exactly the same way you cut off from the bottom, is exactly the same way you will cut off from the top, okay? So I'm going to eat it with the kids. So, and I really like that part. That part is very juicy. Thank you, Mary. Alright. So, this is me just applying it on top again. So what I'm doing with this is I'm sandwiching the cake. So this is what is called sandwiching your cake. So what I'm sandwiching the cake with is cream, like a whipped buttercream. But this is made with flour, milk, butter, and sugar. So it's a good option if you don't have icing sugar at home. All right. So that's my third layer. Let me have the knife again, please. Thank you. Baking at home shouldn't be stressful, okay? Don't worry about making it perfect. The perfect thing is that the cake is delicious. It's when we're doing for customers that the pressure is on. Oh gosh. This is what is called baking with love. So can you see that I am bending down, all right, to look at the sides of my cake, and I'm turning properly just to make sure that one side is not off the whole size of the cake, all right? I need to be careful with that. Fantastic. And now, for the sake of those who haven't baked before, the very last part goes upside down, all right? Every other thing was just coming up the way I baked it, but the very last portion, or the very last layer, goes upside down. So it's the bottom part that we're seeing on top here. And so quickly, what I want to do is give the cake a shave to take off. Can I have a knife, please? And then to clean my hands again. Thank you very much. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is just hold it in place. Let me go this way. I think it's a lot more convenient. Remember, when you're shaving, you can take excess off. You can't bring it back. So don't be too careless with this stage, okay? What I'm just trying to do is just take away the caramelization off. Some people are happy with this. You're baking in your house, it shouldn't be, I mean, I particularly like bread that is brown. Alright, everybody likes what they like. So if you're baking at home, depending on what you and the children like, you can either decide to leave that portion or just take it out. Maybe please, I'm going to need another tray to cut the excess. I'll clean the surface too, please. Thank you. Mary is my able assistant. Thank you very much. Remember, when you're baking, whether at home or at your bakery, you need to make sure you do this with really clean hands. Not hand sanitizer, please. Hand sanitizer is everywhere now. Wash your hands, alright? Make sure you're home free. Wash your hands. Hashtag wash your hands. Alright? Okay, there you go. Is it perfect? No. But by the time we're done, it will look absolutely stunning. So I'm going to quickly clean my surface by just literally raising this off. A big shout out to my Ade. She's a teenager. She's been telling her mom that she wants to learn how to bake at Dainty Affairs. And when her mom sent her the recipe, she just replied and said, "Oh wow." So Ade Suwa, I'm sending you lots of love. Love from Auntie Lolade. Okay, you see that? So I'm just literally taking off the crumbs. Alright? This is quite messy, so I'm going to, okay, and then clean my surface area too. So let's take this away so that I can clean everywhere properly. Just wash my hands. Okay. Okay, so that's the cake now, guys. So, I mean, I can't see what you're seeing, but it's also an opportunity for me to bend down to see the sides of my cake. I can see it's shifting to one side. So I'm going to move it back into place, like so. Alright, and that should be done. That should be okay. So the next thing I want to do is to start decorating my cake. But before I do that, I need to check the cake in the oven. It's almost ready. Oops. Just a little more time. So this is an anti-slip mat, okay? It doesn't allow the cake board to shift. I like the cake board just staying in place. So right now I'm going to do something first, and it's called crumb coating. So crumb coating is like the very first coat you put on your cake, okay, that seals in the crumbs. Did I just say crumbs? That seals in the crumbs. Alright, so I actually like the height of this cake. So you see that. Don't worry, it takes practicing. I've been doing this for so long. Okay, so the only thing you need to know is when you're doing the crumb coats, alright, make sure you don't put the crumbs back into the whole bowl that has the entire buttercream. So I'm just wiping that off. Or you have a separate bowl for crumb coating your cakes, okay, so that you don't go and literally stain the remaining butter that you have, the buttercream. So you can see it goes a little goes a long way. Alright, you don't want to use too much. The work of the crumb coat really is to hold the cake in place, or the crumbs in place rather. Ooh, the smell of this, beautiful. That's why it's good to use very quality products when you're baking. It really is the difference. And once you know your techniques, creaming your butter and your sugar, and then of course not over mixing when you're putting your flour into your cake. I mean, it's really just about that. So the next thing, this is my crumb coat, okay? Ideally I should put this in the fridge to firm up a bit. But what I want to do now is just get to it and put my second layer. So my second layer of buttercream, and this recipe for the buttercream I have is double what I put on the website, on the recipe. Okay, that's why it's looking so much. So I start with the top side. Okay. And then, oops, look at that. Then I go to, I mean, if I was shooting a video, you won't see that, would you? I would have stopped the video to take this off. But hey, that's life for you. It's all part of the experience. Let me know, guys, if you want me to do this again. It's a lot of work, but I mean, this lockdown period, anything to encourage, to inspire the next person, I'm all for it. Okay, there's some of you wondering, what can I be doing? Is there another skill I want to learn? Well, if you want to go the caking route, baking takes time. It takes patience, okay? Where are all my bakers in the house? Please tell them that baking is not easy peasy. Okay. So you can see I'm not getting distracted. I have a cake in the oven that needs to come out. And I'm checking it. Fantastic. Can I have the knife? Let me just roll it through. No, try like that. No, the knife. Oh la la. So this is just about done. Thank you. Careful, please. Thank you. So like I mentioned, I'm just going to put this on my counter for a bit. Okay? And get on with it. Now I need to be really fast. Can I have that bowl that I used to measure the oil? And the black spoon. if you're at home, there's no pressure, okay? You are even good enough leaving the cake like this. All right, you are good enough leaving, no pressure, please. Okay, but for the sake of those who like a challenge, okay, this is called a smoother. They come in different shapes. All right, if I use this, the side of my cake is going to be smooth. If I use this, of course, it's going to have the ridge and edges. All right, for the top, I'm going to just go this way. What I'm doing is just literally, I'm not looking for anything perfect, please. I know there are a lot of new cake makers out there, and if I go and get it straight, they will feel bad. So I really need you to, honestly, if you can even take your spatula and just run it side, give it an S. I'm happy to have an S there, okay? The sides can be left as is, or what I'm going to do now is take my cake board, which is the cake turner, and then hold my smoother on one side and then just go like so. Okay, there's a lot of air in my buttercream, that's why you're seeing the bubbles. If I don't want that, I honestly would have just mixed it by hand a little longer. Okay, so after mixing it with the mixer, once I mix by hand, then I can by hand, then I take out a lot more of the pockets that you can see. But I'm looking for a very homemade look, so I'm really not after perfection, to be honest. Okay, just enjoy yourself, no pressure. No pressure. The most important thing is I have a straight looking cake and one is not slipping to the side, alright? And that's what I'm looking for. So quickly now, I'll put this on the side. Where's that bowl? Yes. Can I have a spoon too, please? And the color blue is right here. So I'm going to take some of the buttercream and just put it in my cup here. Okay. And if you look at our cake project, we have like ice cream cones on it. So I'm going to just use a tad bit. A little goes a long way. Okay, so I'm just going to should have stayed at one drop. It's looking too dark for me now. I'm trying not to call names of brands, so you're not like, oh, to use this brand, let me go and buy that brand. There are a lot of good quality brands out there, okay? Alright. There you go. I think I should add some more. Good. So what I want to do now is take my piping bag. And then my ice cream cone is also ready. So what I did in that is I hope you're learning something. If you are, tell me what you're learning. So what I'm going to do now with this scoop is, but before I put the scoop, I'm going to clean my board, okay? Always clean the side of your board or the surface of your board so that it's not messy, okay? We still want the cake to look as nice as possible. So what we did in the picture you saw online is we dipped this in. Can you see I'm not kind of dabbing it in? I am twisting, okay? Twist, twist, twist. Okay, that allows it go in gently and goes in straight. Okay, gently and straight. And then for the ones on the side, of course, feel free to put your cupcake recipe inside this and bake. Okay, so we have one on this side like so, and then we have one, oops, on this side like so. Alright, I have one here, and I have another here. There you go. Alright, so I'll just straighten it up. Where's my piping bag? So quickly now, I will take my piping bag. Alright, let me just mix this up a bit more. And then I also have my M&Ms. Alright, so I'm going to put my nozzle. I'm using a very big nozzle. And I'm placing it inside the piping bag first. And of course, cutting this off. Okay, once it's snug, okay, snug, that's what I mean by snug. I will open it up. Like so. Create a well, and then just put in this inside. Alright, and then of course I need to take off any air pockets, so I will first of all give it a go. So what I want to do now is just create a scoop of ice cream like so. Facebook, let me make this go higher so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, same thing here. It does tend to get messy, but just try. Okay, gonna add the remaining. I think I even need some more butter, so I'm gonna add some more. So I knew I was going to need a lot more buttercream because we've done this cake before and I know how much buttercream we use. We use quite a lot. This piping does take a lot of butter icing. Quickly now. Told you I'm not looking for perfection. Okay. So far, if you've never baked before or decorated before, let me know. I'll make sure I go through all everyone's comment. Okay, if you've never baked before and you're not baking with us, do you think there's something you want to try again if we do this next time? I said if we do this next time. Look at that, really messy, isn't it? All right, so again I will go. And I'm just one of those moms, if I catch my children taking this scoop alone in a party to eat, I will scream. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's it. Okay, looking very pretty already. And then I will take the remaining piping bag, or I think I want to make it white because we have sprinkles and M&Ms going in. So I am going to make it, please, if you don't mind, can you help me? This is what I need. It's a nozzle that I need. Just remove it. And let's just have that. Thank you very much. You guys need to thank my assistant, Mary. She's really a good job. So just clean my surface again. Working with buttercream really is very messy. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that, let me quickly put the sprinkles, okay? So we have sprinkles going on here, just like so. This is a very happy cake. We want the children to see it and be like, oh my gosh, look at my cake. And even I love sprinkles. Like, sprinkles make everything just better. And then of course sprinkles on a white cake, oh gosh, it just makes it pop. There you go. Thank you very much. Side. So now I'm going to do, whoops, it's almost time. I'm literally racing to finish this up. So I changed the piping bag because I want to pipe with white now. Okay, we still need the cake to look visually appealing. So I am conscious not to overdo with the blue. It's going to be a bit too much. There's blue on the top and on the side. Alright? I knew it was this. Okay, and then I'm going to take just the remaining buttercream. Put in the bag. Oops. So the best time to put the cones is immediately after doing the first and the second coating. Don't wait until because this cake, the buttercream is going to harden up. Not harden like a rock, but it's going to be dry to the touch, okay? I mean, it's still buttercream, and if people touch it, you will still see some dents. But what I mean is, this cone can stick because of the tackiness of the buttercream. So for the sake of those on Facebook, let me move this back a bit. So what I'm just doing is doing like stars, all right? Nothing fancy, okay? Just stars. I'm going to have our M&M. So what I'm just doing is applying pressure and releasing. Pressure, release, like so. Okay, we should cover the cones. There you go. And for the very last thing now, we are going to put our how's it looking, guys? Do you like? So I'm going to put the M&Ms, okay? Don't worry, you'll soon see my face. So do you see that I'm being careful as I'm putting the colors? I'm alternating the colors, okay? Everything is not haphazard. Okay, I'm being careful. So we have a red here, so let me look for a red. Put a red here too, put a green here, put a brown. Now I am decorating, because I usually put my thought into stuff like this, and then yellow again here, then red. Let me come back. So this is the front of my cake, so I want to come back here and do the same thing I did here, so that it's easy on the eyes. So put the red here. Next is blue. Next it's what now? Brown. Brown. And then green. And then of course, what color now? Yellow. I mean, I'm not thinking about it anymore. I'm just now applying it, because I want to finish on time. Okay. And this really is the back of the cake. There's no pressure. Let's put a red. I can see a blue somewhere here. Let's put a yellow here. And let's put a red here. There you go. So let's take this off. Thank you. Guys, what do you think about my cake? We're done. We are done. We are done. And for presentation, so that it looks exactly like how it was on the advert or the flyer we had, I'm going to lift this up and put it on the display platter. We'll take this away. Thank you. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. What do you think, guys? How did I do? How did I do? IG, Facebook, how did I do? Beautiful. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Where's that excess light coming from? I can see one excess light. Maybe I should turn this off or reduce it or turn it off. Can you see though? I think we can even see like so. What do you think, guys? Thank you for watching. Okay, are you all going to snap me? Snap and post, okay? Hashtag Dainty Affairs, hashtag Let's Cake It. Let me know if this is something you want me to do again. I would love to know. Alright, but before we actually call it a day, we need to cut, right? And see what it tastes like. So, where's that knife? And a saucer. Can you have a saucer, please? Yeah, I can use that. That's a little bit. Sorry? Oh, okay. No, we don't have any here. We don't have any there. Just wash one. Okay. So now we have to. I hope we didn't lose anything there. A call came in. Sorry about that. So we're going to cut. Where should I cut? I think I should cut from here. Maybe, please, let me quickly have that. Okay. So. At this point, I want to sing. Alright, now it's time for the reveal. Thank you very much. That was fast. Look at that. Beautiful tight crumb. Beautiful, beautiful. And it tastes OMG. Like, I need to really eat this in front of you guys. So that those of you, where is it? Who did not bake with us, next time you bake with us. This recipe is so on point. Okay. Oh my goodness, look at that. Beautiful tight crumbs. Let me come closer. Beautiful. There's no crumbs. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the layers. Okay, so we're ready to taste. I'm going to taste it now. This is my vanilla, and I'm tasting it where we have the cream. And oh wow. My goodness. This is delicious. Not too sweet. Okay. Perfect on the palate. The cream in the center is very light and airy, like I mentioned. And the beautiful decor. What's not to love? Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'm really excited. This is the first time I'm doing this. It was nerve-wracking to, like, seriously. OMG. Thank you all. Bye. So post your cakes. Let me see. No matter what you've done, post. Let me see. Take it easy, guys. Keep safe. God bless us all. All right. We can't wait to go back to normal when we can all walk freely without thinking about social distancing. I can't wait for that. God bless you. Have a lovely evening, guys, and thanks for joining me. Bye.